everyone, Erin here. I just got a brand new little fun tool. This is a Styro Cutter Plus. This is from Floracraft. Let me show you the container. Now, you can easily use this fun little thing, and I've just been kind of playing around to see what it could be used for cutting all different kinds of styrofoam. Obviously, you can cut in freehand whatever you like, or you can use a stencil, or you can use, I guess you could put your die cut plates on here. You can cut something out of your Cricut and then draw it on here, or like glue it and then trace it out. There's all kinds of fun things. I was playing with stamping and then cutting it out, which is what these little wings are. So I'm just going to kind of show you some basics. It does recommend that you use their styrofoam, and for a few reasons I'm going to show you why. The first step is you want to make sure that you turn this on, make sure it's plugged in, turn it on to the little straight line, not the zero. It has a little rest thing that kind of sits on it, which is nice. And you got to let it kind of warm up for about 30 seconds to about a minute. So it's been going for almost that. You can kind of test it. So you're going to take it in the corner and see how it's starting to kind of cut through. That's how you know it's ready, and it kind of will flake out. This thing gets up to about 400 degrees Fahrenheit, so do not touch it. As you can tell, mine is a little bit kind of mucky looking. So the recommendation for cleaning it is just taking it on a piece of cardboard and just kind of wiping it off, and getting all those little bits of styrofoam that may be stuck to the wand while it's hot. Just kind of flaking them off, and it's catching on the cardboard but not cutting the cardboard. So that is something to keep in mind. This is not a cardboard cutter. And so see how little pieces are just attached to the cardboard now. It just kind of cleans, it's a hot knife, so it kind of cleans your knife off. So the styrofoam that comes with, and this is the only one that I was given, was this piece right here. It's a nice thick dimension, and it cuts through no problem. So let me just show you in a little corner. It just slices through like it's nobody's business. You can go in and poke this way, so you can kind of get in the middle, and it can go right through. Don't force it, and see, it goes right through. If you force it, you can bend your wand or not get a clean cut. So I'm just going to kind of cut off a little section here. You can kind of hear it sizzling and making its little mark. What you don't want to do, and see how it's got some little flakies there, it's going to happen, is you don't want to go in and make it bend the wand, because then you're cutting too fast. Let the wand guide you about how fast it's cutting through. If these bother you, they just kind of pull them off. All my little cobwebs. They remind me of, be kind of cool effect if you want to make cobwebs, if you've got a Halloween thing. And so then you can make it thinner if you want to slice this piece in half. But I think there's different thicknesses you can buy. Again, this was just given to me as something to play with and see what would happen with it. This came out of a box my husband got, and it is styrofoam, but it's a really thick foam. And I was trying to see if it would cut. And you can see it kind of gets there. But I'm having to spend a lot of time for it to get through, and then it really doesn't, it bounces back. I can poke a hole through it. It goes right through, but I can't really do much with this. So that's, I think, why they say stick with their styrofoam, because it works better. I don't know if you were going to try a styrofoam piece from, you know, something more like this that came in a container. I bet it would work. But I also had one styrofoam plate in my house, and it cuts through it like no problem, which is nice because it's a really thin piece. And this is also not bumpy textured. This is a nice soft texture. You can go right through it this way. All kinds of fun stuff. So one thing I did with this is I went through and I did a stamp. So I'll show you how I did that real fast. I just took a stamp, and these are just little wings. I inked it up. And I am using a StazOn because I don't want it to, or a good solvent ink, I don't want it to bleed and get kind of all over the place. So I'm just going to kind of pick a nice little corner. I do have to kind of trim the edges off here so I can get a nice flat space with my stamp. I should probably use a smaller stamp block. I just can't find it right now. Go in, push, lift up, and you get a nice clean image on your styrofoam. Careful not to touch your hot wand. And then I just kind of went in on one corner right here, and then you just guide along. Careful not to push too fast. I'm not going to do the inside because I'm going to lose the integrity of the styrofoam. So that's where the stamp image on the inside is benefiting me. Just kind of guide it through. You're going to hear it sizzling. you want to push it in, I think it gets a little warmer if you go a little further in with your wand instead of trying to stay at the tip. Watch where you keep your hand on the back. All the way through, pull it out. And then just be careful when you pull this out because it is a very thin styrofoam. It can easily break. And there it is. Just kind of clean out your little wispies. You got a cute little set of wings. I'll show you the other one. I mean, this is what I did here. On this set, oops, see, I already broke it. Good thing I made another pair. This one I pulled out too fast and I broke it. All I did now to kind of get this green coat texture is I took this glimmer glaze from Tattered Angels and I just coated it on, just like this. And it's a translucent paint, so you can really see the stamped image below. It's not like you painted it with an acrylic paint where you won't see it. It's also got a glaze, so it's going to give it kind of a hardened texture on the outside and maybe make it firm up a little bit. There's a little too many cobwebs there. This one I touched too fast and I lost some of my paint, so I'm going to repaint that. And then you could have fun and turn these into little embellishments. I might make a few of these. They look kind of cute. And I have some other wing stamps. There's a whole set of them right here that I thought would be fun to play with. Just kind of let these dry, and it's just, you can add a couple coats. And these come in a whole bunch of colors, these little glimmer glazes. I also have some, they're all kind of buried off into here, that have, this is a glimmer glam. It's got bigger chunks of glitter in it, but it's still a translucent paint. You just may not see the design of the stamp as well in there, but it's still kind of fun. So I'm going to try something. And this may turn into a project if the idea is coming around. I wanted a square, and so I just found a stamp that had a nice square. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take just a pen, just a Sharpie, and I'm going to run, and I want to use the least amount of styrofoam as possible, maybe save it for another day, and I'm going to make a square. I'll show you how it cuts through the big fur. So this is just an easy way. You can use cookie cutters, you can use all kinds of things as your stencil or your guide for cutting through this. Keep in mind this is on, so you don't want to touch anything. I'm going to start over here. Now I could have used this as my guide if I knew it was super flat, but I don't know if this is 100% a right angle. So you just kind of push through, let your knife guide you through, and then run along. Don't over push it. And let it cut. You can hear it sizzling. It is cutting through and cooking it basically and heating it up as you're going along. Hit your corner, don't be too fast, and get a nice good angle. Now obviously you can do more intricate designs like I did with the wings. You could do all kinds of scrolly things like you saw in the package. And if you don't like the look of the pink, obviously you can use the reverse side because it is two-sided. The other thing is I've noticed you don't want to stay too long in one area of with your wand there because it will melt too much. So I'm going to run this way now. And see, I went right to the edge so I could have just a tiny bit of loss. Not too much. Again, don't over push. I was pushing a little too hard. My wand was getting bendy. Just run right along. Here you can see it kind of was cutting it up, and you can see where it's been pushed. And it's a nice little square. It may not be perfect, and I was kind of rushing it. And so you can go in, you can kind of clean up the edge here. That made it a little bit better. Again, if you want to clean this off, just run this on the cardboard to kind of clean off those little tangles. Do not touch it or wipe it because you will burn yourself. Now I really don't know if there's a use for keeping any of those little pieces. But again, if you don't like the look on the one side, you can always, or if you're going to paint this eventually, it doesn't matter because you're going to probably cover that up. So just kind of play with it. The other thing I was kind of thinking of is that what if you just wanted to not go all the way through, but you wanted to do a fun design? So you play with going part way and just using the melting technique on it. I'm just kind of playing with putting a depth in there. not sure how well that would work, but you could probably write something but not go all the way through, or kind of melt and make some fun designs. Go this way on it, you know, and cut out some pieces and just kind of play with the thickness of it all. And just make sure you wipe off your wand when you're done using it. And it does smoke. I mean, obviously it's burning, so you want to make sure that you're in an area that's nice and ventilated, so you're not inhaling all of it. I have a nice fan going on, so it's all good. So it's just kind of, it's a fun way of playing. So really kind of a fun tool. I'm not sure how often I would use this, but it's kind of a cool, fun new toy to play with. And if I ever needed to cut styrofoam, or I could see Christmas crafts as being fun, or for like Halloween decorations, they always come, and it's not just flat boards of styrofoam that you can play with. They always have those wreaths that you can mess with, and you can cut into those, or you get those styrofoam balls and you want to slice them in half really easily. This is really good for that. And so thanks for stopping by. Talk to you again soon. Please subscribe. See you later. Bye-bye.